Hey everybody, this is Rykard here again, back with another black and white Pokemon analysis. Since today is Halloween, I decided to make a video where I discuss the coffin Pokemon known as Desukan. So let's get started by taking a look at its ability and its stats. So first off, I want you all to just take a look at the design of this Pokemon because it is absolutely awesome looking. But if you can't tell already, it is a mono ghost type, meaning it's very useful to have since it can be a spin blocker and also obviously resists the fighting and normal type moves that are very common. As for its ability, it only gets one, and it is known as Mummy, and it and its pre-evolution are the only Pokemon that ever learn it or have this ability. And what it does is it essentially makes your opponent's ability Mummy when it hits Desukan with a contact move. I'm not exactly sure if there is a specific percentage with which Mummy will activate, but right now I'm just going to assume that it always activates if it's a contact move, but I feel like that would be a little too good. But I'm hoping it does. But basically, Mummy, you can think of it as like no ability in an extent because all it does is it just changes your opponent's ability to be Mummy. And then if like you hit that Pokemon with a contact move, then the Pokemon that attacked the other Pokemon with Mummy can also be Mummy. So think of it as kind of like a disease that spreads around the entire field to an extent. But one awesome thing that people have discovered with this ability is that it works on Traunt and it works on Slow Start. So if you have a Slacking with Pursuit or something like that, and you attack Desukan with Pursuit, Mummy can activate, and therefore Slacking no longer has its Traunt ability, so it can absolutely wreck teams if you can do that. And another thing is Regigigas can obviously hit Desukan with like a knockoff or something, and therefore now it has the Mummy ability and can utilize its stats to their fullest potential. So that makes this Pokemon really useful in teams if you want to do something like that. As for its stats, it only has 58 HP, which is really unfortunate, but for whatever reason, most ghost types do have generally low hit points. But what's great is it has 145 base physical defense, which is absolutely ridiculous. So that means this Pokemon will still be able to take a ton of physical attacks, even with its low HP. And its special defense is at 105 as well, meaning that this Pokemon is essentially one of the bulkiest ghost types in the game. I think the only thing that beats it in terms of being a bulky ghost type is Dusclops with a pre-evolution stone, which is a new item, but I might discuss that in a later video. But as for its attacking stats, its physical attack isn't that great, only being at 50, but its special attack is at 95 base power, which is really good. So you can definitely make use of its special attacking set, or a special attacking set, and since it has high defenses, you can definitely count on this Pokemon lasting for a really long time. And its speed is only 30, but since it is that low, it could possibly make Desukan a very useful Pokemon to use with Trick Room teams. But with that, let's take a look at a couple of different sets that this Pokemon probably can utilize. So this first set is going to be a Curse Trapper, which I think Desukan can do better than the other Ghost Pokemon that can learn this combination of moves because of its really high defenses. So first we're going to give it a Calm Nature to increase its special defense but decrease its physical attack. And this is because its special defense has a lower base stat than its physical defense. So we're going to want to make that increase to allow this Pokemon to take lots of hits. As for its ability, it only has Mummy as its choice, so that's where it has to go. And the EVs, we're going to put 252 HP EVs into it, 128 defense EVs, and 128 special defense EVs to give you your max like bulk in either area that you can possibly have. And we're going to be running leftovers with this set so that you can recover a little bit of HP at the end of every turn. As for the moves, we're going to be using Mean Luck first to trap your opponent, and hopefully it'll be something that can either not hurt Desukan or not do a lot of damage to it. And then we're going to want to Curse so that we lose half of our health, which is unfortunate, but since this Pokemon has such high defenses, chances are you'll be able to take another hit. But Curse is an awesome move for Ghost types since it essentially allows you to destroy your opponent in 4 moves, or in 4 turns, because what it does, if you're a ghost type, is it takes away a fourth of your opponent's health at the end of every turn. And in order to help this go quicker, we're going to have Nightshade there so that Desukan can also inflict more damage. It'll be 100 each time. It unfortunately doesn't hit normal types, but it's a really good, consistent amount of damage that you can do with it. And then obviously Rest will be the last move because of the fact that you're losing half your HP from Curse. So as soon as you rest, you'll have all of that HP back and be ready to take plenty of attacks from your opponents. So this is a pretty awesome trapping set that Desukan can really make use of because of its high defenses. Up next, we have another defensive set, but it works a little bit differently than the first one. For the EVs, nature, and ability, and item, we're still going to be using the same spread. The only thing that's changing is the moveset. But this time we're going to give Desukan Toxic to inflict increasing damage at the end of every turn, Protect to allow you to stall out toxic damage, Disable to get rid of any potential moves that will significantly hurt Desukan. So if you're up against like a Pokemon like Rabushin, and Rabushin has usually only 2 moves, if it's like Mach Punch and Payback or something like that, if you can disable the Payback, then it can't even hurt you. So that makes it really cool. And obviously, most Pokemon will want to use their main stab moves on Desukan to take it out as fast as possible. And by disabling them, you can make this Pokemon just wall everything, essentially. And then obviously Nightshade is going to be used again to allow you to deal consistent damage to whatever comes in, as long as it is not a normal type. But even if it is a normal type, Toxic can help whittle it down a little bit and possibly even KO it if they don't switch out or something like that. But this is just a really cool set that can make use of his defenses as well. As for this last set, we are going to try and turn Desukan into a fairly powerful special attacker. So we're going to give it a modest nature to increase its special attack, but decrease its physical attack. And we're going to use the ability Mummy again, obviously, because it's the only one Desukan gets. As for the EVs, 252 EVs are going into HP to max it out like in the previous sets, since it is pretty low at its base level. 128 EVs into defense, and then 128 EVs into special attack. The reason for the defense EVs is because since we are not trying to be a physical wall or something, or special wall or something like that, having defense in there is great because Calm Mind, which is your first move listed, will boost Desukan's special attack and special defense. So the special defense is easily being taken care of by that stat boosting move. So we still need to worry a little bit about the physical defense. As for the item, we're going to be using Leftovers again. But for this moveset, which I already explained one of the moves and why it's there, we're going to be using Calm Mind. This Pokemon does learn Nasty Plot, but I find that for more defensive Pokemon, Calm Mind is a way better option. As for the other 3 moves, Shadow Ball is there as your main stab move, Energy Ball for a nice grass type move that will do decent damage and can hit rock, ground, and water types super effectively, and then Hidden Power Fighting to give you a nice, well-rounded moveset with good type coverage. But that's pretty much it for Desukan, with these 3 sets at least. I tried to sort of make this a Halloween themed, I guess that's why I picked Desukan, because it looked like the scariest, most Halloween-like Pokemon. But I hope you guys enjoy this video and you let me know what you think of this guy in the comments, because I think the design is absolutely awesome and totally want one for my team or something like that. But this is the end, so I will see you in my next video, so take care and goodbye.